Questioner. What I am assuming from what we previously looked at, we have on Earth today, and have had in the past 4th, 5th, and 6th density wanderers. As they come into incarnation in the physical of this density for a period as a wanderer, what types of polarizations with respect to these various rays do they find affecting them? Can you tell me that? Ra. I am Ra. I believe I grasped the thrust of your query. Please ask further if this answer is not sufficient. 4th density wanderers, of which there are not many, will tend to choose those entities which seem to be full of love, or in need of love. There is a great probability of entities making errors in judgment due to the compassion with which other selves are viewed. The 5th density wanderer is one who is not tremendously affected by the stimulus of the various rays of other self, and in its own way offers itself when a need is seen. Such entities are not likely to engage in the, shall we say, custom of your peoples called marriage, and are very likely to feel an aversion to childbearing and child-raising due to the awareness of the impropriety of the planetary vibrations relative to the harmonious vibrations of the density of light. The 6th density, whose means of propagation you may liken to what you call fusion, is likely to refrain, to a great extent, from the bisexual reproductive programming of the bodily complex, and instead seek out those with whom the sexual energy transfer is of the complete fusion nature insofar as this is possible in manifestation in 3rd density. Questioner. Can you expand a little bit on what you mean by complete fusion nature? Ra. I am Ra. The entire creation is of the one creator. Thus the division of sexual activity into simply that of the bodily complex is an artificial division, all things thusly being seen as sexual equally, the mind, the body, and the spirit, all of which are part of the polarity of the entity. Thus sexual fusion may be seen with or without what you may call sexual intercourse, to be the complete melding of the mind, the body, and the spirit in what feels to be a constant orgasm, shall we say, of joy and delight each in the other's beingness. Questioner. Would then many wanderers of the higher densities have considerable problems with respect to incarnation in the 3rd density because of this different orientation? Ra. I am Ra. The probability of such problems, as you call them, due to 6th density incarnating in 3rd is rather large. It is not necessarily a problem, if you would call it thusly. It depends upon the unique orientation of each mind-body-spirit complex having this situation or placement of vibratory relativities. Questioner. Can you give me an idea how the different colors? This is a difficult question to ask. I hardly have any words. What I'm trying to get at is how the different colors, I might say, originate as the functions, or the essence of the origin of these colors as functions for the different expressions in consciousness. I don't know if this question is sufficient. Ra. I am Ra. This question is sufficiently clear for us to attempt explanation of what, as you have observed, is not easily grasped material for the intellectual mind. The nature of vibration is such that it may be seen as having mathematically straight or narrow steps. These steps may be seen as having boundaries. Within each boundary there are infinite gradations of vibration or color. However, as one approaches a boundary, an effort must be made to cross that boundary. These colors are a simplistic way of expressing the boundary divisions of your density. There is also the time-space analogy which may be seen as the color itself in a modified aspect. Questioner. Thank you. Is it possible for an entity in 3rd density physical to vary widely across the entire band of colors, or is the entity pretty well zeroed in on one color? Ra. I am Ra. This will be the last full question of this working. Please restate for clarity. Questioner. I just meant, was it possible, say, for a green ray person, who is primarily of green ray activation, to vary on both sides of the green ray in a large or a small amount in regards to energy activation, or is he, say, primarily green ray? Ra. I am Ra. We grasped the newness of material requested by you. It was unclear, for we thought we had covered this material. The portion covered is this. The green ray activation is always vulnerable to the yellow or orange ray of possession, this being largely yellow ray, but often coming into orange ray. Fear of possession, desire for possession, fear of being possessed, desire to be possessed. These are the distortions which will cause the deactivation of green ray energy transfer. The new material is this. Once the green ray has been achieved, the ability of the entity to enter blue ray is immediate, and is only awaiting the efforts of the individual. The indigo ray is opened only through considerable discipline and practice, largely having to do with acceptance of self, not only as the polarized and balanced self, but as the creator, as an entity of infinite worth. This will begin to activate the indigo ray. Questioner. Thank you. Ra. I am Ra. Do you have any brief queries before we close? Questioner. I think that anything would be too long, so I will just ask if there is anything that we can do to make the instrument more comfortable, or the contact better. Ra. I am Ra. All is well. We caution not only this instrument, but each to look well to the vital energies necessary for non-depletion of the instrument, and the contact level. You are most conscientious, my friends. We shall be with you. I leave you now in the love and in the light of the one infinite Creator. Go forth, then, rejoicing in the power and the peace of the one infinite Creator. Adonai.